Om Shanti. Today in the blessing, Baba talks about this balance between greatness and humility. And I remember there was this brother, and I told him, so he came first time, he had not been introduced to knowledge. So I just asked him his thoughts, and I asked him, what do you think, how would you think, how would he think appropriate to define himself? And he told me that I'm the speck of dust and I am an insignificant, very, very small part of this universe, and that I'm very humble because I don't matter and I'm just dust which will return to dust. So I should always stay humble because of that. And there is this idea in the world that हम सब धूल के कण हैं. So we are like dust particles in this world, and this idea is basically given so that we stay humble. But the problem with this idea is, if you consider yourself to be to be someone who doesn't matter, then you will not understand that you are worthy and you have a role to play. And not only a small role, a limited role according to the body, but you have a significant role to play in this big task of world transformation as well. So Baba says, you are not someone who doesn't matter. You matter a lot. Yes, you don't only matter to yourself or to 4 members of your family, but you are important and relevant to the whole world. And Baba says that you are not an ordinary person. You are a great soul, and your greatness lies in the fact that you have the knowledge and the power to contribute to world transformation. Do you understand that there are only a handful of souls who have the knowledge and the power to contribute to world transformation? Because those who don't have the knowledge of how to remember Baba, those who don't have the knowledge to have soul conscious vision, those who don't have the knowledge of purity, those who don't have the knowledge how to elevate souls, they, even if they want, they can't contribute to world transformation. And people are doing a lot of they are really making a lot of effort, and some people are making genuine effort to change the world. But the sad thing is, not everybody knows how to do that. And Baba says this world will change only through 2 things: the power of Baba's remembrance and the power of purity. And you are the souls who have the knowledge of remembrance and the knowledge of purity. And Baba says, you are those souls whose body, mind and wealth is pure. And only the body, mind and wealth of someone pure can be used to create a pure world. Yes, and Baba says, why don't you lend 1 finger in this task of world transformation? So if you observe a finger has 3 parts. So it's divided into 3 parts. And the 3 parts of 1 finger are body, mind and wealth. And Baba says, you can lend one finger in this task of world transformation, in this task of creating a pure world, because only you have a pure body, pure mind, and pure wealth, according to the effort you're making. And Baba says, if you choose to do that, then your contribution can be very significant in creating a pure world. Okay, so do you understand that the eyes, so everybody has eyes, but you can use your eyes to radiate peace, love, happiness, power, and purity. And you can do that if you have purified yourself, the food, the life, the body, every organ of the body, and through it purification of the soul. So if you have used your body to make the effort for being pure, then your body can be an instrument to give the power to someone through your eyes, through your words, so that they can also be ushered on the path of purity. So Baba says, you have the capacity to do that. Only you have the capacity to do that. So that makes us very great. Yes. But whether we tap into that greatness is another thing. So, even in the world, people talk about using your potential. So people have different potentials. So they have skill sets and they have different physical capacities. And then you are always asked to use the potential you have. Now Baba has filled us, the souls, the fortunate souls in this Sangam Yuga, with spiritual potential. But whether we use it or not is another thing. So Baba is giving us the opportunity to use our body, mind, and wealth in seva. But whether we do that or not depends on the realization of our greatness. So, for 63 births, we have lived with this idea that I am ordinary. Yes, 63 births we've been telling ourselves that I'm ordinary and I cannot contribute a lot, or I am not the one who changes the world, or I'm not the one who is capable of big things. So we have chosen to be ordinary. We have believed that we are ordinary for 63 births. And now Baba is telling us that you have the potential to be a world transformer. But whether we tap into that potential or not is an act of courage. Yes, and I remember when I came into Gyan, there was a point where I realized that I can choose to be ordinary even after this, or I can choose to be a great soul. So I knew that now I have choice. Earlier I did not have choice. I only knew how to be ordinary, so I continued to do that. But now I have a choice. I can choose to be extraordinary if I want. So Baba says, do you make that choice? Do you tap into your potential for greatness? That's something. And then Baba says another thing, which is humility. So I started the topic with humility because that brother told me that humility means thinking you are nothing. And because there is a belief in the world that continue to think you are nothing and do nothing, because as soon as you will do something, you will be filled with ego and humility will be lost. But Baba says, if you do nothing, then nothing in the world will change. So you have to do everything and then keep your humility intact. Take care that it doesn't change into ego. And how do you do that? By always remembering that one who made you great. Yes, and sometimes I, think that everything that we have and everything that we are able to do today is just a gift from Baba. Yes, even this discernment between good and bad, right and wrong, true and false is a gift from Baba. Every word that we are capable of speaking is colored with Baba's gift today. Every noble action that we are capable of doing, spiritually noble action, is a gift from Baba. So when you remember that it's not your own creation, your greatness is a gift from Baba, then you can always be humble. Okay, so Baba says, always say Vaha Baba Vaha, Vaha Drama Vaha, and Vaha Mera Part Vaha. So the three factors responsible for me being me is Baba, drama, and my part. So I have a pre-recorded role in me which is responsible for who I am. So Baba says there are three things, and when you remember these three things, then you will not fall into the trap of ego. So Baba tells us that don't use this knowledge of humility in a wrong way. Because if you say, I am humble and I don't matter and I am a nobody and I can't do anything, that means you are not using your potential, and Baba is looking towards you so that you will help in his task of world transformation. And Baba says, again, if you consider you're great and you are doing what Baba expects you to do, even then you have to hold on to your humility, because there is a very good saying, pride hath a fall. So wherever pride creeps in, ego creeps in, so that rise will not be sustainable. So very soon we will fall down, or we will go back to doing ordinary karma or even negative karma, because we did not take care to stay humble. So this is something about the blessing. And then in the slogan, Baba says that if you become easy in your nature, then everything you do will become easy. So every task will become very easy. Now, what is easy nature? Easy nature is going with the flow. Okay, so easy nature is doing when the drama allows you to do, stopping when the drama tells you to stop, withdrawing when the drama tells you to withdraw, yes, contributing when the drama tells you to contribute. So going with the flow is easy nature. And when you always want to go against the flow, you want to help when somebody is not wanting your help, you want to show your arrogance when somebody is seeking your help. So sometimes we just want to do the opposite of what the drama wants us to do. And that is complicating matters. And that is when these questions of why and what and how come up. Because if you're going with the flow, these questions will not come up. You will never do kya kyun. Okay, you will always go with the flow. And Baba says, if you go with the flow, if you are a partner to drama, then drama will also become your friend, and everything you put your hand into will become a success. So Baba says every task will become easy if you go with the flow, if you don't ask questions about why this is happening, the way it is happening, and why it is happening, the speed at which it is happening. because you understand that it is happening for good and you try to see the good and work with it. Yes, so let's say you want to go somewhere and you want to leave at 9 o'clock, and then somehow your car is not working, or the cab you called is not come, or the any conveyance you wanted to use is not there, and then 15 minutes you had to wait. So easy nature means not getting upset in that 15 minutes. Okay, and using that 15 minutes to do what you can while staying in Baba's remembrance. So you want to reach, so you will make effort, but very easy effort in Baba's remembrance. Not questioning the drama, not getting upset, not getting irritated. And Baba says, if you do everything with this energy, slowly you and the drama will come into harmony with each other. And then you will work with each other, and the drama will also start supporting you in your tasks. Okay, and I will tell you one thing. When I came into Gyan, traffic control was a very big challenge, because every time it was traffic control time, so the clock struck 10 or 11, or every hour I used to have a signal for traffic control. And what I found out was, in that exact moment some work would come up, or some emergency or something where I cannot stand still or sit still or keep my mind still, and it took me some 30 seconds, 40 seconds to come to that space, and already majority of the minute was lost. And this kept happening, and there was a time when I was very resistant of it. So I felt like, why is this happening, and why am I not able to do this traffic control properly? And then there was a time when I started doing as much as I could and not resisting it. So 1 minute the traffic control song was there, and I just tried to keep that in mind. From 9 to 10 I would know that at 10 there would be traffic control. So I did my best, easy yoga, not creating the energy of fear or resistance. And then I've been doing it over the years, and now I'm in that place where whenever there is traffic control time, I exactly finish one work and begin the next in that meantime, which is I get that proper break at the proper time. So my mind clock is now coinciding with the time clock. And why? Because I did not create the energy of resistance when these two things didn't go together. And because I didn't create resistance, so now I am in this place where the drama also doesn't resist me, it supports me. So another name for drama is time. So if you respect time, if you respect the will of the drama, and you keep doing your bit anyhow in remembrance of Baba, while not creating negative energy for the drama, that's easy nature. And when you have this easy nature, then the drama becomes your friend, and it starts to make everything easy for you. So try this, it works. It is my experience, it works. So try this and you will get the result. And then in the Murli today, Baba says that this cycle of the drama continues to turn. It isn't that there is another world. They think there is another world up above, and this is why they go up to the stars, etc. In fact, there is nothing up there. God is one, and the creation is also one. So, people have made a mess of this world. Yes, we have made a mess of this world. And now, as a solution to that, we are trying to find another world where we can shift. So, people are researching on this, and there are researchers who are trying to find life on Mars and this and that. And then you want to damage this place and move there, yes, to damage another one. So Baba says, there is no other world where you can go. God is one and the creation is also one. Yes, there is no world up above. You die, you create a nuisance of your life, and then you die, you don't go to heaven. There is no heaven up there. You're born here itself to live with what you created in your last life. Okay, so Baba says there is no escape. God is one and the creation is also one. And since you have to come back here itself, so Baba says you want a better world, you create it for yourself. So you have to change this very world, you have to change this very predicament of the world if you want a better world. You cannot escape from here, there is no other creation. And Baba says this is the only human world. So Baba says that there are two other worlds, the incorporeal world and the subtle world, but they are not human worlds. The only human world is this world. Human beings are human beings, but it is just that there are innumerable religions of the body. So Baba says now humans are humans, but now we have created so many thought processes, belief systems, religions, and that's why we are suffering. There are so many varieties. In the golden age, there was just one religion and it was called the land of happiness. Now Baba says you have to stop, you have to finish this era of many religions and move to that world of one religion. And how do you do that? So Baba has said that every soul has one religion. The body has many religions, and the religion of the soul is purity. So Baba says, when every soul starts adopting its religion, and even if it clashes with the religion of the body, if you just choose what your spiritual religion is, that is purity, then we will move to that world where there is only one religion, which is purity. Okay, so Baba says this, and how to do that, Baba explains today. Baba says, how do you conquer the world? So those who conquer Maya conquer the world. Yes, and this is very important to understand, because in the world it is said, Man jeete jagat jeet. Okay, so people say that you have to conquer your mind, and by that they mean that you train your mind in such a way that your mind becomes thoughtless, right? This is what people say. But Baba says you cannot conquer your mind, which means the mind will never become thoughtless. Even in Satyug, the mind thinks. So there is no problem with thinking. What you have to conquer is Maya. So what is Maya? Maya is the 5 vices. And Baba says, when you win over the 5 vices, then your mind becomes your best friend. Now your mind is your enemy because there are 5 vices. And when there are no 5 vices, then your mind becomes your best friend. And in the golden age, there is no problem with the mind, because the mind is not under the influence of vices. Okay, so Baba says, Maya jeete jagat jeet, which is you have to conquer not the mind, not thoughts, but Maya. Your thoughts don't have to be vicious. So Baba says, Maya is an enemy. Maya is not wealth or prosperity. There are some people who think that wealth is Maya. Yes, people say Moh and Maya. So they say relationships and wealth are the problem. But Baba says relationships are not the problem. And wealth is not Maya. What is Maya? Greed is Maya. Vices is Maya. In Satyug also you will have too much wealth. But then you will not be vicious because there is no greed. And that wealth will be used for world benefit, yes, to give, to make life easy and comfortable. So Baba says, wealth is a resource, but when you have greed, wealth becomes a problem, yes. So Baba says, you have to write the 5 vices are Maya, and people will then be able to understand the meaning of it. Otherwise, they are unable to understand it. And Baba says, you have to conquer Maya with what? With the power of yoga. Yes, and what is the power of yoga? So, Baba has told us who we are and who we belong to and what our purpose is. And when we remember Baba, we remember our original qualities. We remember that we belong to the Almighty. I am the child of the Almighty. And I remember that I have to do actions which create divine sanskars. So when I remember Baba, I remember all of this. And this awareness gives me the power to rise over vicious actions. Yes. So there are many people who ask this question, how do we win over anger or overthinking or greed or lust? So the answer to this, all these questions is only one. When you become aware of who you are, when you become aware of who you belong to, when you become aware of your greatness and dignity, then you don't do that which looks undignified to you. Yes, then you know that this doesn't suit me and I don't have to do this. And nobody else can stop you from something that you do so privately. It is only self-awareness and awareness of your greatness that can stop you from doing that. So Baba says, remember me, and with this yoga power, you will be able to win over your vices. And Baba also says something very interesting. By staying in remembrance, you won't perform any sinful actions and you will also remain happy. So, why is happiness lost? Yes. Some people say that happiness is lost when there is loss outside. Yes, you lose, there is some problem with the body, or some person is lost, or something is lost, then your happiness is lost. But Baba says happiness is lost when you forget Baba and you do vikarma. So nobody can take away your happiness. It is your own karma that makes you lose happiness. And what is karma? Karma is thought, word and action. All 3. So when something is lost, you create the thought, I lost. And then you feel unhappy. Yes. And yesterday Baba in the blessing told us that if you just keep playing this song in your mind, that I have found Baba and I have found everything, then you will stop playing this game of gaining and losing. Yes, so anything in the world changes. Someone comes, someone goes, something comes, something goes. You just keep telling yourself, I'm with Baba and I have everything, then you will never be unhappy. So happiness is lost by your own thinking, own words and own actions. Even actions make us lose happiness. Yes, if you watch something more than necessary, happiness is lost. You hear something more than necessary or something that is against Srimad, happiness is lost. You eat something against Srimad, happiness is lost. You talk something against Srimad, happiness is lost. Have you experienced all this? Yes, you talk something, your words are not according to Srimad, you will lose your happiness. You go to a place where Baba has directed you not to go, you will lose your happiness. That's how it goes. So Baba says your own thoughts, word and action make you lose your happiness. And then just like we talked about body, mind and wealth. So what you do with the body, your mind and also your wealth will make you lose happiness. So have you seen that if you spend 1 lakh rupees on something that is productive and useful, you feel happy. But if you lose 10 rupees, it makes you very unhappy. You just kept 10 rupees somewhere and you're not finding it. You have these thoughts and you get upset. Why? Because happiness is lost when money is used unproductively. So everything, your thought, word, money, physical energy, your capacity to see, hear, whatever you have, if it is used in a wrong way, in a vicious way, then your happiness will be lost. So Baba says, always take care that you are in remembrance of Baba and doing karma which maintain your happiness. And happiness is your private property. Nobody can steal it, snatch it until you give it away through your own vikarma. Yes. And sometimes after coming in Gyan, I think that happiness has become such a big deal in the world. But happiness is not a big deal. Happiness is our birthright, but we give it away because we are so attached to the world and the belief systems in the world that we overstep Srimad. And then by overstepping the line of Srimad, crossing the line of Srimad, we give away our happiness. So this is how it goes. And then in the Murli today, Baba says, Baba talks about the sacrificial fire. Yes, and Baba says, here everything that you are being taught is unlimited, and in bhakti, all that was depicted in a limited way, physical way. And Baba says here, this yajna that I have created is a Gyan yajna. Yes. And Baba says, this is a Gyan yajna. You understand yajna? Yajna is a sacrificial fire. So Baba says, I have created this Gyan yajna where the, just like, in a yajna, the important thing is the fire. So Baba says, the fire created in this yajna is through knowledge. It is the fire of knowledge. Yes, so as much as you imbibe knowledge into yourself, this yajna will be successful because Baba gives us the knowledge of everything, the knowledge of truth, the knowledge of yoga, the knowledge of dharana, purity, the knowledge of seva. And Baba says, when you know the truth, when you know how to remember, when you know what it is that you need to imbibe in life, what are the virtues that you need to uphold, and when you know clearly what true seva is, then this sacrificial fire which has been created to transform hell into heaven will be a success. So this is a Gyan Yajna, and Baba says, also in this, just like in every Yajna, you have to give some offering, ahuti. Yes, so Baba says in this also you have to give your ahuti. And what is the ahuti? You have to give your 5 vices in this yajna. Yes, that's the ahuti. Now, how do you give your 5 vices? Yes, so that's the important question. So, can you sacrifice attachment without sacrificing that which you are attached to? Just think about it. Yes. If you have to sacrifice attachment, you have to shift your relationship with that one which you are attached to. Yes. Let's say I am very attached to my sister. Yes. And why am I attached to her? Because all the sisterly love that I am getting, that body conscious love. She cares, she calls, she keeps, getting worried about me. And then I'm attached to her because of that body conscious way that she operates in. And then if I want to give up that attachment, then I have to give up on that form of relationship which I have today. And I have to change it into a spiritual relationship where we care, but it's not about physical care, it's about spiritual development. So I still care for her, she still cares for me, but now I don't ask whether you have eaten food or not. That I may ask after 3-4 sentences, but now I ask her whether she listened to the Murli or not. So it's the care. The care is intact, but now the care has become a spiritual care where we are both interested in spiritual development. So Baba says, until you transform your relationship with the object of your attachment, you cannot do away with attachment. Yes, and we are attached to the body, that is called ego. We are attached to wealth, that's called greed. We are attached to relationship, that's called attachment. And we are attached to other people's bodies, which is called lust. So Baba says you have to shift your relationship with all these things. And how do you shift it? So with other people's body, your relationship shifts that their body is for Baba's yajna, not for your devourment. Okay, so they have to become pure and contribute through their purity to Baba's yajna. And then how do you shift your relationship with your body? So your body is not also a pleasure-seeking instrument or something that the soul devours on for physical pleasure. It is an instrument that Baba uses to create a pure world. Yes. Your relationships are not for your satisfaction, they are for seva. They are there so that you can use the power of your relationships to bring them closer to Baba. And with your wealth also, you must understand that your wealth is for world seva. It is not for just fulfilling your desires and needs. And you must understand that it is for spiritual seva and for Baba's yajna. And also with this, so I finished all the 4. So these are the 4 kinds of relationship with our body, other people's body, wealth and relationships. Baba says, until you shift your relationship with your object of attachment, you cannot do away with your attachment. So Baba says, ahuti also this yajna requires, and then this yajna the fire of knowledge is required. So keep burning the fire of knowledge and keep offering this ahuti, and this yajna will go on until everything in the world gets absorbed in this, and then we transform and shift into a new world. So Baba says, this is the unlimited thing that's happening, And then in devotion, in bhakti, what they did is they created an Agni Kund, a small sacrificial place, and then they started offering something physical in it. And on the sides of that, they started keeping books, spiritual books, the Shastras and all, they kept keeping there. So Baba says, instead of Gyan Agni, they started keeping books, and instead of this Vikaron ki Ahuti, they started doing physical Ahuti. Now you understand what real Yagya is about. Okay? Om Shanti.